Thank you, Chief. Assistant Chief Dave Walton of the Columbus Fire Department. I'm in charge of the Fire Prevention Bureau. Received my bachelor's degree at the University of Cincinnati, a master's in business from Ohio, Dominican. I have been on the fire department for 27 years, and I too have seen firsthand the effects of carbon monoxide poisoning. And there are many sources of carbon monoxide within the homes and the structures in which we live. Again, carbon monoxide is produced by any fossil fuel burning appliance, whether in this wonderful display right here in the basement, you might have a furnace, a hot water tank, clothes dryer. In our living areas, we might have a fireplace. In our kitchens, we might have a gas-burning stove. Space heaters in the bedrooms. We see that this time of year where people are firing up their furnaces and their space heaters for the first time. And wood-burning stoves also. So there are a lot of opportunities for us to have carbon monoxide produced in our homes, and if they're not maintained appropriately and inspected properly, that's when carbon monoxide builds up. We oftentimes think of carbon monoxide as a wintertime experience, but in fact, as we saw in June of this year when we have massive power outages, we have folks that get generators for the first time and they fire them up in their basements, in inappropriate places in their garages, and so we have a buildup of carbon monoxide. It was almost 13 years ago to this date that I responded to my most significant carbon monoxide run, and it was less than 2 miles from this very place. It was on a cold December night at 1:30 in the morning when our alarm office received a call from a concerned family member stating that part of her family went to a church service and that family had not returned. It's 1:30 in the morning. We sent crews to respond to the church. Upon arrival, our crews found many people in this church. Some had vomited, some were unconscious in the church. The pastor was on the stage unconscious. Children had gone to the bathroom and gotten sick, lost their bowels, made a complete mess, and some of them were unconscious. We transported 18 people from that church that night. And it was something that was bizarre to even imagine that that insidious gas was able to take over common sense and they were not able to call for help. And we were very fortunate that night that no one perished. And it was just the quick thinking of the family member that knew to call us. So it can happen anywhere at any time. And she did try to call the church, by the way, before calling us. And the receptionist was found at the front desk with a phone in her hand. So it can happen to anyone. So